Hi there. In today's video, we are going to see how to perform Canary rollouts with Argo Rollouts and Testkube. Argo Rollouts is one of the very popular tools that is used for enabling progressive delivery, including blue-green deployments and Canary deployments. One of the prerequisites is to install and configure Argo Rollouts on your Kubernetes cluster. And to do that, you can refer to the documentation, which is fairly simple and straightforward. In this demo, we will have an application which has two different versions, and we would be using Canary deployments to progress the different versions and traffic. And we will use Testkube as an experiment and an analysis which will validate the test workflow before proceeding to the newer version. To do that, we first create a template which consists the Testkube related code. So here we define the context. And to do that, we need to set the API tokens, the root domain, org ID, and environment ID. You can get all these details from your Testkube dashboard. Next, we will define the test workflow that needs to be executed. In this case, we would be running the basic K6 workflow, which is already present on our cluster. We then need to define the success and failure condition. So the success condition here refers to the success criteria when the progression will happen, which basically means the new version will be deployed and traffic would be moved completely to it. The next step is to create the rollout where we define the type of strategy we are using here. So in this case, we provide Canary. And then we use an analyze spec where we provide the Testkube template that we just created. So we instruct the rollout that, hey, you cannot progress until unless the result from this analysis is correct or succeeded. We then define the details of our application along with the service and the ingress that is required to access it. So we start by deploying the template.yaml file first, and then we will do the same with the rollout as well. So we'll do kubectl apply f argo rollout / rollout.yaml. The moment we do that, it creates the rollout, it configures the service and the clusters as on the cluster. Now, if I go ahead to the Argo Rollouts dashboard, I can see that the rollout is successfully created and the version 1 of our application is already deployed. So let us go ahead and check the version that is deployed. So since we are using Minikube, I will start the Minikube tunnel, and then I will go ahead and get the service of the application that we just deployed. So in this case, I will go ahead and execute Minikube service list, and we got the IP address. Now we access this application using this IP address, and what we see here is our weather application. So if you see, it shows the server location as Hyderabad and gives the details of the temperature and forecast. So this is the V1 of the application, and right now all the users would be visiting this this version itself. So let us go ahead and progress the rollout, which basically means that we go ahead and apply the newer version of the application. Now, the moment I do this, it says that image is updated, and let us go ahead to the Argo rollout dashboard. So here, if you see, it said progressing, which means it has got the newer version, and then it was paused. The reason it is paused is because we want the Testkube to first execute the test workflow as an experiment, and only after it is validated, the progression can proceed. So if you see here, we have an experiment that has just started. Let us go ahead and look for an analysis run within an experiment, which basically should be the Testkube workflow that needs to be executed. So let us go ahead and get the description. Let us just describe the analysis run. So kubectl describe analysis run, and then the name of the analysis. And let's see what has happened. So if you see here the status is successful. And if we go to the test workflow dashboard, here you will see that the basic K6 workflow was successfully executed. So let's go to execution, and you will see here the 18th execution, which is executed a minute ago. So which means the execution was successful, the experiment was successful, and the execution is still running, and the V2 was progressed. So let us go ahead and see the application. And now when I refresh, you see that the server location is New York, which is basically the V2 of the application. So because the Testkube workflow was successfully executed, the success condition of the Canary deployment was met, the progression was successful, and the new version was deployed. So now on, all the users will be able to see the new version of the application, and that is how you use Testkube for Canary deployments using Argo Rollouts.